But it's like the only thing that people see on the surface is like, oh, here we go, another influencer, another YouTuber. Here we go, another podcaster. It's like people don't know like who you are as a person. It's like you don't even know that I've been trying making YouTube videos since I was like 11, 10 years old, like just playing around, messing around. Like I always loved this shit before even people made money off of this.
That's what I mean. That's
But
what
you
I
don't
mean. I'm
know
like,
that
you've been
about a
doing it
person.
for so long.
But you don't know that about a person. Like,
Yeah.
but even to answer your question,
But
it's
you've
like,
been
okay, like
doing it for so long.
what do I get out of it? Like, okay, like there's of course there's like bigger goals and like what is the end all be all if that's what they're asking. Of course I have answers for that. But as far as like what do I get out of it? It's like I get fulfillment out of this. Like I get a piece of my soul is being fed. Like as corny as
Is
that
being
sounds,
fed.
but it's like
No,
I'm
that's
feeding
the answer I
myself.
wanted. That's the answer I wanted because I mean, when you're feeding yourself, you're feeding the others,
Like
obviously,
that's what I get
and
out of it. I get to like share my perspective on life in a healthy, productive way. It feeds my soul. Like or what do I wish to get out of it? Of course, I wish to get money out of this and make it into like my job and my career. What more fulfilling thing to do with your life than do what you like to do for a living and be able to sustain yourself like that instead of working a shit job with a person that disrespects you all day, with a company that disrespects you all day. Like who the fuck wants that? Of course, that's the end all be all.
that.
Anybody who says they don't want to make money off of what they like to do is a fucking liar. And that first of all, that's somebody I don't even want to like be around or listen to because I know you fucking lying. And I don't want to be around someone who it's
I
like
mean, yeah.
please, like don't try to play the humble card. I don't want to make money off of what I do ever. Like spare me the bullshit. Like of course everyone would love to because money makes the world go.
Everybody would love to.
But
Anybody would
it's
be.
not the
Anyone who
money.
says
It's like
no is lying.
it's not the money. It's just I want to see reward from what I love to do and be able to sustain
I
myself
hear
off of
that.
that.
You actually made me think the other day too. Did you ever think about doing? Which I know you love video, because so do I. I mean, I love posting it, but one of the reasons I love posting my shorts and everything on YouTube is because I have a book in my house. It's over here. I think it's called The Dream or whatever. It's a blue and white book with clouds on it, and I write every manifestation, whatever I want, I write in it. And one of the things that really like keeps me going when I have to keep filming or doing another episode is I was telling you, I watch all the hosts that are like, that became influential to me, because one of the things I wanted to remind myself and be conscious of while I was doing this was to emulate, the people that gave me the push. And yeah, obviously I pushed myself, but when I watched the styles of like Drew Barrymore, whoever, so and such, Wendy Williams, I don't know, I even love watching Sherry Shepherd now. So it's become one of those things that I'm like, I would love to become that first person that's actually, from our culture. And I'm trying to think of the word right now because I'm like, oh, obviously, I'm like, I would love to be a minority. Normally, minorities for us, it's on, Telemundo or something Spanish. I'm like, I would love to have something syndicated, a talk show, on Fox 5 or CNBC, something like that. And it's something that I wrote down and I still manifest as I'm doing it now because I'm like, I feel like I'm sitting right next to you, even though we're far away. So for me, my question being is, do you ever think about doing like a podcast, or do you ever think about maybe elevating yourself to that level where it might be a show where you're, just giving advice, like something like that? I know it's a big elevated question,
Right,
but
no, that's a very valid question. I definitely never specifically thought about like ever like doing something like that, but I don't close myself off to it because I mean, I'm just a creative person. If that's what I end up doing one day, then so be it. I'm open to it. Like I love it all. You know what I mean? Regardless, anything that feeds into the creativity of anything that I do, period, I embrace it. I keep all doors open for any of that to happen. As far as it like being like something that I would probably like see as like a passion, I'm not sure. Like I don't think it I don't know. That's a good question.
right,
I
isn't
don't
it? I
say
mean,
no. I definitely don't say no. for sure. I don't think it would
Do,
be
do you
like
think
my
it's more
main
of a
thing though. I don't know.
okay, so let me ask you, do you think it's more of a like can I handle it thing, or is it really just like I don't know,
I
like
don't think it's a
like
like
if
can
it
I
comes
handle
up
it
to
thing. I
you.
think it's just really like a what do I really want to like stick to? You know what I mean? Like, do I want to stick to like my more personal videos? Do I want to like do like a whole production or like I don't maybe I could do both. You know what I mean? I don't know like how the pieces would fall together eventually. Like I'm just like winging it. Like I'm just like I just get on YouTube, talk about what you like to talk about, and we kind of go from there. So that's what I'm saying. I'm always open to like eventually down the road, 5, 10 years from now, if I want to rebrand 2, 3 times, sure. If I'm shifting my career 2, 3 different way directions, sure. Like it's just kind of like the direction that God takes me, really. Because
That
like
it
I said, I
takes
love
you.
the
No, I like that.
but that's really how I've been my entire life. Like even like as a kid, I'm like, okay, I dipped and dabbled into modeling and then I started getting into music as a teenager and then I got like my own little studio and then I always made like stupid little YouTube videos as a kid and I was always editing my stupid little not stupid to like downplay it, but you know, when you're a kid, you're just doing dumb shit. I always like was into like editing my little funny
No, yeah,
videos, and I was always into it all. Even like in school, like going into like participating in all the plays and doing like the dances and the acting and the singing. Like I love it all. Or even in elementary school, I was
I
into
was gonna say
pottery. I I was into
perfect
pottery for two point
question.
five seconds. Freaking writing in school freaking drawing, painting, like
Don't you
you name
feel?
it, I've tried it all because I love it all.
Don't you feel like being? I guess not because I'm trying to toot our both our horns, but I would say both of us are multifaceted, multi
But
hyphenate.
that's where
You
it
know, I
brings
tell
me
people
to
all the time.
like
I
where
go,
even like where I even got like my YouTube name from. I'm like, okay, like oh my God, I was stressing about this. I'm starting the channel and I'm stressing about this. I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'll make a channel, sure, whatever. I decided that. But I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do on it? Like what if I do this or what if I do that, but then if I do this then I can't do that because it's like five other things and then it's like duh, 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 duh. And that was me like hyper fixating again and I was like wait a minute, I had to check myself and I was like I could do it all. Why am I boxing myself in before I
you
even
can.
started? So I was like I'm a freaking
I was gonna say
chameleon.
thank you. You just answered my
I was
question
like wait
because
a minute,
I
what
kind
am
of
I?
felt
I'm a chameleon.
like in the beginning I felt like a box only because one of the questions, well, I know we spoke about when I first was going to start this the whole journey, but I remember one of my friends asking me and she was like, "But what do you mean by unscripted?" And I said, "I feel like for instance right now people would consider this an interview, which yeah, it is. I'm like I'm interviewing, I'm having a conversation with my sister, but I mean, I don't want to
But there's
call you and
so
say,
many
listen,
other layers
don't
to it.
say
Like
that. That yeah, there wasn't like, don't say this, please don't say that. It was like, listen, be calm, and let's just have a
and
conversation. And
that's
if
what I
there's a
didn't
part where
want to go into
you
doing
know,
my YouTube as like with that mind frame of like, okay, like do this, but don't do that, but don't say that, but don't say this because you're doing that. It's like just go with the flow, do what you love to do, and take it from there. Not saying that your content has to be all over the place because you're this multifaceted person, but you know, just put a little structure to it, but don't confine yourself like in like a sense of like a prison.
no, I literally love that you say that because my answer to her, just to tell you, and I said to her, I love having the, even though I mentioned the whole interview style, but I was like, look, if you go on now, I had my, I had an episode that kind of reintroduced me. So people, because it had been like 5 years since I had done a podcast almost. So I was like, people don't remember. So
Right.
I did a whole part of that. And, I got into kind of the gossip stories, events that we used to go to, things of that nature. And now I have this. And I was like, look, this is kind of the same way a talk show is driven. Not every day I'm going to have the same person on to talk about health and all that. Like, you know what I mean? I may have someone tomorrow that'll come on and it'll be a comedian. But I love that it's driven that way and it's natural and it's something that's not forced.
Because it's driven
And
from passion.
yeah.
And that will always
And,
reflect
and,
to
and
people all
you
the
know,
time. Like they know when somebody like likes what they do and loves what they do versus somebody who's just showing up for a check or showing up for some clout or validation. Like people can see through that immediately.
I just think too, like I said, I hear so many interviews that I feel are like, I know forced is used kind of loosely, but it's true. You're sitting and you're having a conversation, and at some point, the tone is dialed down. You know, it's like, okay,
Yeah,
do
or like
I
at some
ask
point it's
this
like, oh, here we
question
go, another
or?
podcast where she's asking, so how was your life? And it's like, oh, it was terrible, and then everybody's crying. It's like, oh, here we fucking go, another podcast of people are crying and screaming and child. Like, where is like the
Well,
meat and
I
potatoes
also
here? Where's the personality? Like, we're just
I
gonna go straight to crying?
not only crying. You know what I didn't notice, and maybe you might feel different. I wanted your opinion on this too, and I wish I would have put you on my episode when I was talking about when I went to the women's brunch because I just felt like I'm trying to remember what I was going to ask you because I felt like at that event it kind of how do I explain it? Like they empowered each other, but when you go on an episode of a podcast, like people usually go on and they're talking about whatever company they brand, so on and so forth. But it's something you know they're paid for.
Right.
They're getting paid to obviously endorse your company, as opposed to when I asked you to come on. I just felt in my heart, I was like, no, my sister has a really good YouTube. I was like, I really think it's important that you start, you know, even just if I could help add an extra 10 people, it'll make me feel better. I just felt like the conversation would be great and the exposure would be great.
Right, like I'm here
And
all for the
by that, you
conversation,
know,
but if that does expose me a little more, sure, that's a win from it too. You know what I mean? It's like approaching
oh
life
yeah, no,
like
that's
that.
just an added plus.
Like there's nothing
It's
wrong
just
with
an
like doing
added
like your
plus.
advertisements and making your money and make your coin, whatever. Like you have to live off of something, obviously, but it's like when that encompasses all that it is, it's like where is the rest of it? Where is, you know what I mean?
Whereas, yeah,
Like I'm just just
I
people
also
with blue
just
balls.
no, and honestly, the reason I was bringing that up too is I feel like they don't really have a lot of conversation
Yeah,
of
like
women
everything comes across
empowerment.
as
You know,
very like this one dimensional, like I'm here for the coin, I'm here for like a fake deep conversation, yada yada yada. And then it's like,
it,
but why
yeah,
but then
well,
people leave the episode feeling like, I don't know, what did I really get out of that?
yeah, no, like I feel like you know, if you're gonna go and sit in, like for instance, right now, I just don't want to feel like, even though, yeah, granted, you're related, but even if we weren't, I'm not gonna ask a question and feel like, oh, I overstepped a bound. My purpose of doing it is so that way I can step the bound because you know what? There's probably things that people don't know about you, you know, and that little itty bitty bit, if I could get it out, you know what I mean? It still is a little itty bit that they could take
Not
with them.
exactly. And that doesn't
That's
mean
what
like get on
people
the line and
want.
tell your whole life story and spill all the beans, but it's like people always
No,
want like a little bit of a personal touch. Like once you feel like connected, you're like with someone, you're like, okay, I want to see more. Like I want to know what this person is about. I want to see more. I want to hear more. Like let me see. Like I'm curious. And if it sparks a little
like
curiosity,
when I
that's always great. If
see,
it gets the message across, that's even greater. Better, greater, amazing.
like I mean, actually, that's why I no, actually, that's why I was asking you about the podcast because for yourself, or even like the videos, or if anything was given to you, because when I was watching all of, you know, because I always tell you anytime we talk, which is true, and it's honestly, it's because Junior loves going on my YouTube. So when I go on, I'm like, uh, first off, I get pissed off because he messes up my search engine. But most importantly, when I go to look to search, you're the first video that comes up. So I immediately sit and I watch them. And I take myself out of the equation as just, oh no, I'm not only the brother, but I'm like, oh, that's good. The way that she's teaching me, you know, organization makes you feel, helps your brain feel less clutter. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, like, you know what?
But that's
I
why
think
I
I'm gonna
reiterate
go
all the time.
clean.
I'm like, listen, I'm not just a person here on the internet, on the internet talking shit and being like, look, listen to what I say just because you could. Like, no, I'm here living these things that I'm talking about simultaneously in real time. Like, so if I feel passionate about speaking about a subject, it's because I'm literally like digging through it myself personally, and I want to talk about it. Like,
And you want to actually, you know what? That was the question I was going to ask you before when I lost it. So, would you consider yourself? Because I kept using the terminology anytime somebody would ask me about you. I was like, I find myself well, not myself, but the topic of the conversation is I was like, I find myself around a lot of motivational speakers, but I was like, I find my sister to be a motivational speaker. I feel like it's one thing to
Sorry,
give
I'm
advice,
laughing
but I
because
do.
I'm laughing because you were gonna say I find myself around a lot of, and I thought you were gonna say I find myself around a lot of morenos, and I was like, a lot of black people. Sorry.
That's hilarious.
Ooh.
No, I just felt
Yeah,
like,
motivational
you
speakers.
know, I just felt like you are considered one. So I was like, I want to ask her, so because maybe you don't feel like that, but I was like, when you're going on and you're trying to tell everybody how you're healing yourself and what helps you to get through the day, I go that no matter how, well, to me and I'm sure to a
Oh
lot
my
of
God,
people how
sorry,
you
wait, I
really
really gotta
transpire it.
pee and I'm dying. Give me one second. Just back from the calling of
So right
Mother
after
Nature.
So right after your pee pee break, we were talking about you. We were talking about you and possibly being considered as a motivational
I would
speaker.
love to answer that
So
question. It's so funny because I was just like, oh my God, I have to be so bad. And then I'm like, shit. Like I was probably seen on the episode rocking back and forth for like 30 minutes straight. I'm like, oh shit, I fucked up the whole podcast. You go back and you see.
no, that's TV. That's if that's not podcast gold, that's TV gold. Okay, that's a moment that's gonna last a
You know
lifetime.
what's so funny? You watch all these episodes and it's TV and you never see nobody pee.
No, they will never give them that
Like,
satisfaction
do they go
again.
in the commercials? Are you gonna put commercials?
Imagine. I
Okay,
wish.
anyways.
I wish.
So motivational speaking. Motivational speaker. What was the question
Would
again?
you consider yourself one?
I
Would you
would.
consider yourself one?
No, I would not consider myself a motivational speaker at all. I think some of the stuff I say can be motivating and inspiring for sure. I don't deny that, but I wouldn't consider myself a motivational speaker. I don't know if it's because I feel like maybe it's like a little bit of like imposter syndrome, or maybe I don't have like the credentials or whatever. I don't know. But then again, I can't even say that because it's like I don't think I fully understand what that really entails all the way through. You know what I mean? Like I'm just a creative person. That's pretty much all I can say. Like that's really who I am. I'm a creative. As far as a motivational speaker, maybe
Well,
again, I don't close the doors off of ever being that one day. Like if TED Talks ever was like, hey, like come and do a seminar, hell yeah. But
well, no, the reason I say that, I guess, is because what I've seen so far, and like I'm pretty sure I'm haven't asked you
right,
because
because that
I'm
is
like you
pretty
said,
much
you're very
most of
creative.
the stuff that I like geared toward.
But then I also feel like, is there a part where maybe you might want to dig deeper? Not. I'm not saying sit there and have
Yeah,
a venting
I don't
session. I
close
mean,
the
like
doors off to
maybe
that at all. Absolutely. I don't mind it not
you
one
know,
bit.
o-
As far as like claiming
only in the
the
sense.
like the title of like motivational speaker, I think that holds a lot of weight that I don't feel like, not that I'm not prepared for, but that I don't feel like is anything to like throw around. You know what I mean? Like if
Oh
you
yeah,
looked
I
at
guess
some
in the sense.
dickhead
Well,
walking down the street and was like, I'm a doctor, but I didn't go to college, you'd be looking at him like he had five heads. You know what I mean? Like not
5 heads, I
anybody
tell
could
them you're
just
not a
claim
doctor.
those.
I'd be like, I don't know what kind of doctor you are, but you're not going to be
But
doctoring me.
exactly, but that's my point. It's like there's a lot of these terms and terminologies and titles that people just throw around loosely, and I don't feel like I want to do that because I feel like it takes away from like people who actually work to be there and do that. Plus, that's not really what this like
But, you
started
know,
off as, anyways. You know, like I love to be
well,
motivational and inspirational, but I don't think I'm like that person.
well, you
Does
know,
that make
I
sense?
asked too is because I get no, it does. I actually, for me in my Instagram, it says public figure, and it's had that for
Right.
years. And a lot of people, I don't look at it in that way, but I tell them, I go, I guess it's because of, when, you're going on that grand scale. I go, no, I'm not that person that's walking across the street and paparazzi's following.
Right, like to
I go,
some
but
people,
it's
it
good to
might seem
have.
pretty simple and straightforward. Like, oh, what do you mean you're not a motivational speaker? You speak motivational things. It's like, but there's so many, like, there's so much under that there's so much that embodies that title. It's like that's where I feel like people like start throwing around these titles because they don't understand like the work and the labor and the dedication that goes into like earning like a title like that.
Something. Do you think it deserves the title in that
Absolutely,
sense? You know,
especially
like
for
some
people who
people,
bust their ass for it.
it's, or like even in what you're doing, because some people might, not me, because I already know you. Some people might say, okay, what
It's
do I
like back to
categorize
like
it as?
the sorry, it's like back to like the doctor example I was saying. It's like nobody would ever look at an actual doctor on paper and be like, "Do you think you deserve your title?" Like, fuck yeah, I do. Like, I went to school for 10, 12 years, bitch, and I busted my ass. Like, nobody would ever do that to you know what I mean?
I would say you do, and let me tell you something. Motivational speakers don't need none of that. It's a course that you could pay for. But I mean, I don't mean it. Some people, like you said, it could be literal. But like for an example, I remember us having a conversation a while ago about how my YouTube was set up because for people that don't know, I don't know how to categorize anything. So my makeup and stuff is still there. But I like having that umbrella because I kind of not only figured out how to direct traffic just to my podcast, but I was like, you know what? It goes back to what we were saying before. I was like, I don't want to just have a YouTube that defines me by just having my big mouth. I was like,
Right.
because when I
Exactly.
started this journey in general, I was already a makeup artist. I was already diving into so many other things. I was like, I don't want to erase the work I already did. Like one video, I said, oh my God, I didn't even know the amount of numbers because I'm not that seasoned. But it's very rewarding. So when you see it, it's like I don't want to ever. I like having multiple being multifaceted, but I like having multiple decimals, like things to have
Exactly.
and
That's what I
to
was saying
work with.
before. It's like don't let any of that really like box you in or like keep you from doing what you actually want to do. It's like when I was first on the internet, like I was doing only music for years. So I was like, oh my God, like if I go back to the internet, they're gonna be like, what the fuck is she doing? Like, where's the music? Like, but I'm like, I'm not gonna let that like confine me. Like I'm gonna do what I wanna do. Like, so who cares if I was doing music and now I'm doing this and what? And that doesn't mean I'm never gonna do
Do
it again. Like, but people just like to just kind of keep you like stuck somewhere.
you still feel like, well, you just answered that. What else do you want to create on there? Like, have you ever thought about anything like as far, and I only ask that only because people ask me, and every week I sit down, no lie, I usually film, like for us today obviously it's on a weekend, but normally even though my episodes air on Tuesday, I
Huh.
film on Tuesdays. So and then I spend the whole day editing, and usually by the time it's airing I'm like I'm ready to drop that. But I'm always sitting from that Monday to that Thursday, like sitting there and going, oh my God, what am I going to talk about? And not because I don't have topics. It's just because I'm like, what do you really want to put out there? Like it becomes a real ordeal, and not in,
Yeah, it
in a
becomes like a
negative way. It's
routine.
like, yeah, it becomes a routine.
But I think that's the
So for me, it
same
was,
for like somebody who has 5 videos out versus 500. It's like every time it's always going to be like, oh my God, what now? Oh my God.
yeah, that's why I was like, when you sit there and you're prepping yourself, is there one moment or is it just a day to day thing for you? Like, do you
Uh,
just kind of get like when you're gonna do it? Do you kind of sit there and go, okay, well, you know what? I've been feeling like this. This is what I'm gonna
yeah,
talk about,
that's
or is
really
it something that
what
you
it
kind
turns
of?
into like over time. Like that's really like the best way that I found works for me. I like stop because I start off that way where I'm like, oh my God, like what am I going to talk about next? What am I going to do next? And then I start like making a list on the phone and I'm like, I don't know, I don't know. And then I stop doing that because I get wrapped up in that and I feel like it, and I see that it's not really doing anything. Because to be honest, I could talk about whatever I want. I could just, it could be easy, right? But I feel like that's not how you're going to get the best result. Like, it could be very easy where I have a list of things. I have a list of like 12 things right now on the phone where I can just pick one, boom, that's it, and that's it. But I don't feel like that's going to get the best result for me. So what I do instead now is I just like stop and look around and have a little bit of self-awareness, stop and look around and just look into myself. I'm like, all right, what am I feeling right now? Like what's actually happening right now? For example, the video that I just recently filmed like a couple days ago, but actually just finished editing like not so long, maybe like 2 hours ago. I was like talking about minimalism again because what happened to me, it was the same exact way. I started being like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna talk about now? And then I stopped and I was like, you know what? Let me just live my life normal, do my errands, whatever. And it started with I was just cleaning my house like regular. And then it came to me because I was having a whole weekend where I was like, all right, I'm just going about my regular business, cleaning the house, whatever. And it turned into this whole thing of like I'm looking at pictures of like my whole family, and then it started being like a therapy session over the weekend. And I was like, hold on, what's happening over here? And when I dove into that a little bit more, I was like, wait a minute, boom, this is the video because that's what's happening right now.
She's fine. What's happening right
And I'm
now?
not
See,
saying it's
I
gonna
kind
come
of
to you like that every single time because it might not. But what I'm saying is just embrace your life as normally and let it come to you. And maybe it won't sometimes. But I mean, you
it kind of does. The only difference I get, well, it's a big difference between you and like mine is, I was telling you before earlier, but it's true. Back in the day, we used to have like, magazines you would open to read all the, tabloids to read all the stories. And I find myself, even on my days off from work, I'm watching all the shows I missed. I'm reading all the news. And my manager looking across from me like, I want a cheeseburger. And I'm like, well, you got to wait until I get through my current events and let me, and then again, like I said, I have this beautiful blue book, and I have one side that I write. Actually, believe it or not, my recipes are in it, but the other half of it, I usually write whatever I'm manifesting, and I usually kind of try to drive. I write down topics, but I don't have like a chronological order because I also kind of stick to where the foundation of my project even started. I was like, I don't ever want to look down and be like, my question to you is, would you prefer to have this or that? Like, I didn't,
right, like that kind
I was
of
like, I want
allows
it to
like your
be organic.
creativity in a sense.
I was in
And
a sense, I was like
that's
that.
just like per person because it's like some people need more of that structure and that's actually works better for them. But it's like me personally, like even when it comes to like any sort of creativity block, whether it's if I'm thinking about what to speak about next in a video, if I have writer's block, if I'm writing a song, if I'm having um if I'm having like ear fatigue, if I'm like trying to go at the same song I've been trying to mix for like 2 months straight and it still sounds like garbage and I'm like, what's happening? It's like no matter what it is, true story, no matter what it is, it's like you just gotta step away from it, like turn around and just live your life, and then it'll come to you. Because the more you keep like
And then it'll
applying
come to
pressure,
you.
pressure when it's not working, like that's not gonna make it come to you more than what it wasn't already. Like it's actually doing the opposite.
I
Like you're
haven't hit.
just like exhausting it.
I wish I could say I haven't hit that like when they say like when you get blank or like I forget that saying when you're writing a book and you just stop because you just get blank, and I find myself every week kind of just saying, okay, you spoke about this, you spoke about that, what's trendy this week that you like and your audience likes, that immediately rolls off my tongue, because obviously I'm not into all that, but because of I cover all of that on top of everything personal too, it's so easy to me. Like it's fun, it's easy, and then I'm like, oh, next thing you know, I'm 30 minutes into the first clip of it. It's
But
so
that's what I'm saying.
insane to
Like
me.
it's so easy to be like, all right, I have a list of 5, 6 different things, pick a topic, do the video, edit it, put it out. But that's not me personally. That's not how I think I'm gonna do the best at it and have the best result and the best product because it's like it's gonna come up in my opinion, I think it's gonna come across like garbage because I'm really not into it. Like I could talk about anything right now. I could talk about a fucking sack of potatoes right now, but am I passionate about a sack of potatoes? No. So it's gonna come across as like what is this bitch talking about? Like I'm not feeling it.
You want it to be as authentic, which I love. I really do. I love that it really is the way it is because it's structured in a way that people get to see. When it's a short, like I love the shorts you do because it just gives a short introduction, and then when the actual videos are very, you know what I mean? Like you could just tell when you're
Right.
into it.
Like
So
I
that's why I
try to
was like,
keep it like related to the long form video that I just the medium form, whatever. That I put the longer video that I put out. But one day if I have something on my mind, I'm like, you know what, make it short. Like it doesn't have to be from another video. It doesn't have to be again, like just keeping yourself confined. Like if I have something on my soul and my spirit, I'm gonna speak about it, make a quick video, boom, that's it. I don't have to be like, okay, no, I gotta wait till I get home and and edit it and it's like, no, just put it.
just put it, and you find the ultimate joy in it. I makes me proud. I'm very proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
But you know what? I'm so proud of you. But before, because I'm realizing we're going and grabbing on, they'll be here thinking we'll have to have 5 episodes for forever. I'm hoping that it won't be the
I can talk,
last because I
please.
want you to come back.
I can talk,
I
please.
love we both can. That's what makes it so much fun. But before I let you go, because I'm so proud and you know I love you to death, let everybody know where they could at least find you on YouTube, so they you have yourself a little shout out. Because I want everybody to go watch it. Is it
Oh,
okay?
sure,
Is
absolutely.
it
So
on the
I'm
bottom?
just on some only on YouTube, no Instagram. I had Twitter that didn't really work out. No Twitter no more, no nothing. I'm only on YouTube. Okay, the chameleon. OhkayThe. Chameleon with a K. Khameleon. That was hard.
Yeah, but at least you did it better than me. Mine is longer. I wouldn't be able to. I actually have to stop myself and count the letter. Like it's just not good. I have to say it out loud. I'm like, first off, just
Learn how to type it
thank
real
you so
fast.
much. Well, anyway, but thank you again for coming on as my guest, and thank you everybody for listening. And I will see
Oh, thank you for
everyone
having me
next
on.
week.
This was so much fun. Like I can talk all day about what I love to do. I could talk all day. Like I could talk till I turn to dust. But I'm not gonna do that because I might have to get up like 12 other times for pee breaks. So that's not gonna happen. I
We're
was
gonna
so
have
happy
to
to
do
be
a whole
on and
nother
have a
sesh.
conversation. I will definitely be back eventually sometime soon. So we'll figure something out. But thank you so much for having me. Love you all. If you come visit the channel, please subscribe, like, and share. Do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not no motivational speaker, so you don't even have to listen to anything that I say. You can take it as a grain of salt, keep it in. I don't really care. I'm just talking about my life. That's it. Thank you. Love you.
Yes, make sure you go listen, support, love you, love you. Make sure you listen, subscribe. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Well, you see him next week.